I want to take a quick moment and welcome you. My name is Michael, and if you're just coming across our website or channel for the first time, I want to let you know that you're loved and that you're welcome here. Princeton Church is a place for everybody, no matter the problems that you face or the doubts that you might have in your walk with God. We bring these weekly devotionals to you to share the love that Jesus had for us with you. We have a few things that we say here, and that's the foundation of what we believe. We believe in loving God and loving people and in serving our world. It's as simple as that. So thanks for taking the time out of your busy lives to join us this week and reflect on what God is doing in our world. You know, I work at a creative agency. You can call it marketing or branding or advertising. We kind of do it all. When companies, big or small, need some support in starting their business or in repositioning their brand after so many years, they come to us to provide some insight on what to do and how to do it. As a creative director, I guide my team in finding the best creative solutions to help fix what's broken for our clients and to get them back on track. But before we start any project, we hold what we call our workshops, and really they're intended to bring my team and the client team together to brainstorm or to talk about where they want to go. And in these, we often include a few creative exercises. Some of these exercises include making collages of where they see their brand in a few years, or others include magic markers and Post-it notes and stickers. What we're trying to do is get a glimpse into the creative likes and dislikes of the client that we're working with. And in almost every workshop, I hear one or more of my clients say, you know, Michael, I just don't have a creative bone in my body. And maybe some of you have said that to yourselves or to others, but that hurts me to hear that. You see, I believe that we're all creative, but maybe where all of this stems from is that one time in kindergarten when our teacher asked us to draw our house or to draw our family. I think we might have all done this at some point, but because we are all uniquely individual and different, so were the pictures that we drew. You know, some kids may have had more realistic forms of humans or of their dog and cat, and maybe one house was blue and the other was pink, but I can almost guarantee that the teacher or other students had one of two responses. They'd either say, oh, that's great, good job, and the colors, they're beautiful. Or maybe they would say something like, you should just stick with nap time. In essence, it was that moment for most of us as the defining moment of whether we're told we're creative or not. I believe that we're all creative because creativity is the very first thing mentioned in Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. It's the fifth word that introduces the history of all humanity. How could we ever say that we're not creative? Yeah, many of us may have professional careers or hobbies that some would consider to be more creative than others, but really, I don't care if you're an artist or a writer or an airplane mechanic, a finance manager, or if you work in retail. We are all creative. God made us in his image, and I think it hurts God when he hears us say that we aren't creative or when we tell others that they aren't creative. Ecclesiastes 7:14 says, when times are good, be happy. But when times are bad, consider this: God has made the one as well as the other. God is a creative God, and if we're made in his image as it's written, that means we are creative beings. While we're all made in his image, we're all still very different. So that must mean that creativity comes in different ways and looks different for different people. You don't have to paint or draw or work in a creative agency to be creative. Just like the workshops that I use to help find direction for my clients, creativity is the strongest human tool for discovering new ways to do things, ways to create healthy relationships, and ways to share the love of Jesus with others. I was looking back at some old emails that my dad had written to me while I was away at college, and I found this. The subject line simply said, something to think about. The email read, we have no right to decide where we should be placed or to have preconceived ideas as to what God is preparing us to do. God engineers everything, and wherever he places us, our one supreme goal should be to pour our lives in wholehearted devotion to him in that particular work. Ecclesiastes 9:10 says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all of your might. That's an excerpt from My Utmost for His Highest by Oswald Chambers. God has engineered everything. There are no accidents in creativity. While some inventions or technological advancements in medical or technology has often happened by accident, it's not really an accident. It's that initial desire to find a solution through creativity that brings those things about. Our greatest tool as believers are the words written in the Bible. Now, some of us might say, well, I'm a visual learner, or I learn better by hearing things. And I believe that's true, that some of us use different ways to digest this information. Regardless of whether you're a visual or audible learner, creativity will be found in the choices you make and the actions that you take away from every situation and relationship. We have to read the words written in the Bible to better understand the love of God and the plan that He has for our lives. But where the real magic comes in is when we take what we visually learned through reading the scriptures and open our hearts and open our ears to become audible listeners, listening for the voice of God and His will through our everyday lives. Loving God, loving people, and serving our world. Built into the foundation of what our church believes, this is embodied in Paul's letter to the church in Philippi. If you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from His love, if any common sharing in the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and of mind. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking for your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. In your relationship with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus. You see, every minute of every day is an opportunity to use our God-given creativity to impact and have relational impact with those around us. We all have relationships, and while those relationships look different between friends and family and coworkers, we are called to reflect the love that Jesus shared with us. We all have work to do, and we are called to do that work wholeheartedly, creatively, and to live like Jesus. So this week, I challenge all of us to know that wherever God has placed you, He has engineered a purpose for your life. And it's our choice to listen and to create it.